Hey guys, welcome back to Mitza Creek Farm. I am Katie and we are at Memorial Day weekend already. This is like the big planting weekend for us and I can't believe we're here. But I'm going to be honest with you, we are so far behind. We are a pumpkin patch, we grow mums, we have Christmas trees, we have cattle and sheep and chickens, and in the spring we do a plant sale to pay for like our summer expenses. The plant sale essentially pays for seeds and for our mum start. And so this is always kind of like a big thing, but it's getting to be bigger and bigger. And with the kids getting older and going off in every which direction, my time is getting less and less, and their help is getting less and less because they have other obligations, and Sydney doesn't even live here anymore. So that means I'm really far behind, and I need to figure out a better balance of doing all this. I realized yesterday there was about a 2-week gap that I forgot to plant pumpkins. For most of the pumpkins, that will not affect us. That doesn't make a difference, but there is one variety I decided to not plant because they would not be ready till mid-September, and that's when we start getting freezes. So our goal is to have everything ripe by the beginning of September, and so there's one pumpkin variety that we cut out. Thankfully, I thought ahead and I got most of my pumpkins at 95 days and less. So that means I could technically plant in the ground now and we will be good for the beginning of September. I think it would be September 2nd would be 95 days from now. That might be 100 days. I don't quite remember. Anyways, so yesterday I spent the day getting starts going. So these are all the starts. There's 162 here. There's 51, nope, these are 36 trays in each of these. I do have trays of older pumpkins, and those I'm really hoping we can get planted outside this weekend. We will see, but we got the 95 days and longer are all started now. So I'm really hoping that they germinate soon, they germinate quickly. They're pumpkins, they should, but they might not. And that's where we're at for pumpkins. None of the fields are prepped. None of the ground cover is ready. We haven't figured out any of that yet. There just has not been enough hours in the day. Back in February, I had committed to doing a market, the same market we did last fall. And I totally just was not even thinking. It sounded wonderful in February when there's snow everywhere and you just want to get outside. But that is tomorrow from 9 to 1. So we are going to be busy with that. I'm going to bring the rest of my tomato starts. And there was one more thing I was going to bring. I don't quite remember. I was going to bring some honey. Oh, and a couple hot peppers. And so we're going to be doing that tomorrow. So that takes a good chunk of our day, good chunk of our weekend, which stinks. But at least I will get rid of the rest of the tomatoes. Everything else that doesn't sell will get planted in here. As far as planting goes, in here, I'm still at that one row. It's actually 2 rows, 1 row of ground cover of tomatoes. I want to say there's 40 there about, and they are doing well, but that is it. So all of these guys need to get planted. My plan is the zinnias and marigolds are getting planted with the pumpkins, and there are... This is what we're at. This looks the same as it did the last video. But they're all still alive and they're getting watered, so that is good. And over here at our peas, they are growing great. Oh, and I have a monarch in here. See it? Oh, that's so exciting. We didn't have very many in here last year. So the peas are looking great. They are knee to waist high right now. And so they should be starting putting blossoms on soon. So that is good, and that feels good to have that far. Next year, I really need to simplify and get things figured out or have help hired, because this is very overwhelming to me, and not being able to get things done when I'm supposed to. Beck just finished track this week, and so now that that is done, our running is less. Thankfully, my running is less. But with that said, I still am running lots and lots and lots. And so that leaves not much time here. And so only the essentials are getting done. And when you're trying to run a business, that makes it really hard. So you can see over here, there's absolutely nothing done. I'm hoping we can get the ground cover on and I can start getting pumpkins planted in here. What I weeded the other day is still the only thing that is weeded here. Sheep are out grazing around the apple trees in that area, because my hope is that I can plant pumpkins there this year and go all the way up to the apple trees for pumpkins. So we're kind of killing two birds with one stone. We're letting the sheep graze that down as low as they possibly can, and then we will have to till it and put down ground cover. But if we get that done, then that's a big chunk out of the way. So there just is a lot going on, and I'll be honest, it's overwhelming. This is not how I wanted my first garden tour of the year to go. Thankfully, I have a row of tomatoes already in. They've been in for weeks, so they're getting really nice and established and big. But when you're not home very often, it makes keeping this place running really hard. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I feel like now that track season is over, school is almost out, we just need to get through these last 2 weeks here and everybody can take a deep breath. But it still is very overwhelming, and things just are not happening as quickly here as I wish they would. But on a lighter note, Beck's boat is looking absolutely gorgeous. He keeps going and grabbing things and sticking into plant, which I absolutely love. So you can see he's planted some more cosmos, and he's got a couple dahlias in here and some geraniums. So this is looking really full and really beautiful, and I'm hoping that he will take some of the zinnias and marigolds and plant in here as well, because I have enough that he can plant however many he wants. But even his little sedum is starting to take over, so that is good. So we're gonna call that one a win. But we have a lot to do. We have a lot of fencing to do. We have a lot of fence fixing to do. And so that is what we are going to be working on probably most of the summer. But the first priority is getting plants in the ground and getting all of this planted. That is like #1 priority right now. That is it for today's video. I wish it was a more chipper one. I'm just really discouraged today and really overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that I have to do that just doesn't seem to be happening. And of course, when you have to work in the middle of all this, it just adds in more layers of things to do. And I wish that I could just go out and get started, but I can't, because I gotta work. Luckily, I'm able to work on little projects here and there because I work from home, but I still have to work. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.